Hello there, everybody. My name is Wattles, and welcome to the Let's Play Grand Finale episode 92 of this Let's Play series. Today is a world tour. The last episode was technically, I guess, the last episode of doing things. I kind of see episodes that are tours as not really episodes, but they're episodes. But anyways, we're gonna tour the whole world today, everything in the world. I think I've done this maybe about 4, maybe 5 times in this whole series, and so there's been a little bit of progression shown throughout those tours and stuff. But in some of those tours, I didn't go and touch over every single thing. That's what's going to happen today, so it should be a little bit of a longer video. Sorry about that, or not sorry about that, depending on how you feel about that. But I want to do a little bit of history here, right here in the beginning first, before we get into anything. And that is that this series begun on March 31st, 2017. So my channel was at 31 subs then. It was not very big, and I'm not saying it's big now, but it was at 31 subscribers is when I started that series, and now it's ending on whatever day this video is coming out. But I had planned for this series to go forever, but, you know, as you guys know, maybe from watching the other episodes, I got a little tired of the world and that kind of stuff, and it started in 1.11. It's currently in 1.12.2, and that's where it's going to kind of finish off or end up, if you will. I do have chapters set up in this series, but the chapters aren't really a thing. It's just kind of for organization of, you know, new people and everything like that. I think that's it. I think that's all I want to say. So this is a bit of a season 1. There will be another series coming very soon. So if this is your first video of the series, I'm sorry, but there is a playlist. Check it out. And make sure you subscribe for the new series. Now, there will be episode numbers popping up throughout this tour of where things are in case you want to go see something in action. I like to do that so you can go and build along. There will also be a world download link in the description. I ask you to do one favor, well, a few favors. If you enjoy, subscribe, leave a like, and then send me a screenshot on Twitter or in my Discord channel of your favorite build in the world. Stand in front of it in third person, just like me, and say, this tree is my favorite. Send me a screenshot. I like to see what you guys like to see, and that'll give me some inspiration for the next series that will start once 1.13 comes out. But I think that's been enough rambling. Sorry about all of that. The texture packs that I am using today, and that I have been using for a long time, is PRJE Atmosphere pack, and then the new default beta pack straight from Mojang. This series was played on hard difficulty as well. I died a lot. So anyways, let's go ahead and throw the armor on. We're here at spawn right now. Spawn is right here in, I think, this little clearing right here. Every time I die and I break my bed, because I don't sleep in the beds I put, I spawn back here, and it's a giant pain. So I think the first thing that makes sense is spawn house. By the way, all of my stuff from the ender chest will be dumped in some chests right here for you, or it should be, but this is my first starter house, my vacation home, as I call it. A little doorbell, but it's a really low note. I don't know if I would ever hear that note, but anyways, doorbell, vacation cabin. I really was proud of this building, and I mean, I'm still pretty proud of it here as a little starter building. I think this might be one of the first pickaxes that I made in this world. I saved it in that chest. Don't know really why. Don't know if it actually is a starter one, but we've got a little, you know, cramped interior in here, but I liked the design. I didn't want to go with your typical 2-room starter house thing, so, you know, I still have stuff stored here. I never bothered to move it, but it's, you know, stuff that I didn't really ever need once I made a proper storage building, you know. But anyways, I have some little crop spots going around this little area. I put this little makeshift wall, or not makeshift wall, but it's a permanent wall, but I put the wall around the plot. And over here is a cow farm. If you're in this world, you will find these things. You press the button, they float, and then you feed them wheat, which I don't have enough right now. And cows will die based on entity cramming. Then you'll get your leather and your beef in here. That's how I do my food in this world. So there's a few of those around the world. I won't go in depth on those every single time, but I think that's everything here. Other than this rock, that is going down to the strip mine, which maybe we'll swing down today because I never really do. But let's go this way down this path. My idea here, the vision, was to set up a whole field of crops. This is the first, or not the first, but one of the first little setups here of crafting table, furnace, chest. I like to leave that stuff just because why not? But right here is a little field of crops. Like I said, I was doing a little bit of custom trees. As you guys know, maybe my custom trees are pretty lame compared to some of yours. I literally grow a giant oak and then change the bottom of the root or whatever. But yeah, so I have a little house here. This was never finished. A lot of these projects are never finished. That's the reality of it. I kind of start a lot of stuff and then I don't ever finish it. I mean, this build is, pretty much finished as to what it was meant to be, which is just a little decorative house. It's, got a little water wheel that we'll see better from the other side, and, it just kind of sits here along the river. I was thinking that maybe it's like a temporary stop if I ever need it, and also, like a farming house, if you will, for all of those crops. But moving this way, this is my creative build zone, kind of. But it's not in creative mode. It's just, different builds that don't have a purpose. They're more of like a decoration, if you will. Over here is a bunny head statue, built that on Easter. Then there's Santa, and then this is my channel logo thing currently. It's my face that I made, so that's what it is. It's not a good view, but it's a good view from maps. So I'll show you some maps and stuff. Over here, there actually is something that I never go and tour. I never show it off because it was more of like I messed with it in a few episodes and then kind of never came back to it because I did have some really cool plans over here to set up an area. A lot of the stuff in this series and in this video that you'll see was, comment suggested or influenced by your comments. And over here, I was going to make like an undead zone and some kind of zombie thing. There's a zombie spawner in here, though. And, they spawn and they fall, or I think they fall, yeah, or maybe they have to fall. It's right on the surface. And then they go into an area that is down here, and they get killed by a magma block. Really basic setup, but I actually never bothered with a whole zombie farm in the world other than that. So that's really the only zombie farm that's straight up, from a zombie spawner type thing, I think. I don't think I ever, got around to doing another one or anything like that. I just don't have much of a use for them, but I did set it up one episode because why not? I felt like I should. I wanted to do something with it, and I was going to do more stuff over here. Now, another thing about these builds is that I liked to, in those episodes, kind of build the build and make you guys guess. I didn't say what the build was until at the end of the episode, so that was a kind of a little fun thing. This is a nice view over here. I mean, my render distance is decently far, but it's not super far right here. It's 19. I'm using Optifine, of course. That is the AFK zone spawner thing, but we'll get to that. So I think it's going to be time to go back up this road and go over to the bridge. I'm going to try and just, make a giant circle around the world in this tour. Try to make it make sense in relation to each other, but I know it'll get a little confusing. So I don't know. You could use this video as a guide as well if you're playing in it and stuff like that. That would be totally cool. But over here, I was trying to make a little custom biome with coal as rocks. That's something that I really like to do, and in the next series, I want to get more into beautifying and detailing the landscape like I did over here. All of this area kind of has a function and a purpose, which is something I really like to do with my worlds, and hopefully that'll be a thing the next time around. But going across this bridge, we go into a little birch forest here and a giant tree farm. This was an overkill project. If you watch my series, you'll know that I go a little overkill sometimes, meaning some of my projects end up way bigger than I had actually planned for them to be, which is good, like I never need to grow trees anywhere else. Basically, the whole idea is plant a tree, you wait for it to grow or bone meal it. Room for the giant trees too in the middle here, but yeah, this was the whole idea of the tree farm. I was going to do an automatic sorting thing in there. Never got to it, though. The sorting would be for the saplings and stuff like that. This is an example right here of one of you guys who left a comment on this area. I think I did, guess what I'm going to do under here or something, and somebody got it right. So, I had put signs up. There's a lot of signs of names around the world, but, and there's also a lot of chests around the world of random junk. I was going to try and sort them, and I actually begun to. I started moving stuff to the central storage building, which we will get to later. but I kind of realized I have way too many things to really do that and have it make sense. So I scrapped it, and there's chests everywhere. Sorry. There's useful stuff in most of them, though, so it's kind of fun. But this area is the patron area of, like, donations or pledges or whatever. So this is for my patrons that are $5 and up tier. So everyone gets their name on a sign and a block representing the tier that I do. If you're interested in this, this will be in the next world. I will implement something almost exactly like this, working on some other creative ideas. And actually, Archangel gave me a really creative and cool idea that is under wraps for now, but it might get implemented in the next world. All of these names will get copied over, though, in case your name is here and you're concerned about that. It will get copied over as soon as I can do that. I'll, set up that monument. But that's that. I wanted to make that area super nice, but, the series is ending, so I think it's nice for what it is. But this right here, this is something like oh boy, I think it's like 2,000 blocks maybe of a rail line. It's very far. It goes to the witch farm, which we'll get to, of course. Everything we'll get to, but it's really far. I never finished putting the rail in it, but I like the design here of like a beam and then the arms supporting it and then rails and powered rails where there's a gap there. But yeah, I don't know if I ever finished it all the way. Well, I know I didn't finish it all the way. Let's be honest. I didn't put all 1,000 or whatever rails or 2,000 rails on there that I needed to. But anyways, this is the graveyard. I really love this, and this was when concrete blocks were new. I wanted to use them for something, and I thought a little path in the graveyard would work perfectly, and I think it does. I was going to bury my dead horses here, as weird or funny as that sounds, but I didn't actually kill any horses. My only horse, Frank, I think his name is. Is it bad that I forgot my only horse's name? But Frank didn't die, so Frank is alive and well and never had to be buried, which is a great thing. So that's cool. It's just decorative here. I like to decorate my worlds. But going this way, we enter the swamp biome base area. Now, this was my main base for the series, basically. Like, I started the series here, moved into the swamp, and started setting it up, and once 1.13 comes out, the water's going to look horrendously ugly in here and everything. But yeah, this was, the main base. A lot of the episodes are in here. There's a lot of decoration going on with like a sewer pipe. It doesn't actually go anywhere, though. It's just concrete blocks. But this is Frosty right here. Frosty the Snow Farm. This is a favorite from you guys. I think a lot of people really do like this build. Excuse me. It's just a snow farm. You take a shovel, and harvest the snow. It'll, go right back because of how snow works. But, yep, snow farm, that's where I get all my snow. I was using this for nether tunnels, but then I got a little fancier with them. So, yeah, over here, though, is my excess storage building, which looks tiny now that I look at it. I'm just looking in every chest, excuse me. But extra stuff goes here, which, again, it looks tiny, but there's a whole lot of room in here. I've only used, I think, this first row. Did I use the second row? No, just the first row here. We'll go ahead and throw an egg in there. If you find that egg, cool. You're cool. But yeah, excess storage of just dirt and a bunch of stuff. But then I got lazy, and like I said, I didn't move everything there. So, whoops. But over here was going to be a fancy build. Don't know what it was going to be, but it was going to be fancy because this is the highest point in the swamp here. The swamp base is actually pretty big, and I wanted to mark the highest point with something. This is the end of that rail line. We're not going to run on it. It's very boring. Not that cool. I mean, there's some scenic mountains, but definitely not something I'm going to pain you through. 2,000 blocks of me rambling about something. But right here is Gonzalgo, and I think that's maybe Helga. Hey, Helga, come out here. Can you see me? Come over here. I guess not. But they're pumpkin head zombies. They spawned on Halloween in the world, and I did a name tag thing and, trapped them in here. And they live there in jail forever. No clue what they did. Probably something really bad, like shoplifting or maybe bullying or something evil. I don't know. They're in there, though. They're trapped forever. But this is my spider farm. Giant spider right there that I never went in detailed. I was going to use coal and make the spider look better. It was a tip from you guys, actually, but never got around to doing it. As you might have noticed, I have a habit of not getting back to things. If I start a project and I leave the project, I am very bad about coming back to it, and that's another thing that I don't want to do in the next series. I want to be better about that. So, anyways, spider farm is in here. 2 spider spawners. So it's a double spider spawner design. Poisonous spiders. I used to use this for all of my mending needs. I would come here and mend my tools because spider farms are very good for mending your tools because you can kill them and the XP will stay down in there until I walk down there. So you can use these to push the spiders forward, and then, like I said, you go down here and heal your tools up. I do have a whole mending set, mending pick, sword, shovel, or the shovel isn't mending, actually. I think I have a mending one somewhere in the world, though. And then armor, but the armor's not mending either, but I do have mending stuff. So that's that. This is, you know, probably my most used spawner, other than the blaze farm, because I used the spider one a lot for a long time. So going back up here and leaving that spider farm, we have this little swampy patch of land that leads over to a cactus farm with a trapped villager that I wanted to heal and name him and give him something to do. Probably like a little stall right here. Never did it though. But the cactus farm is pretty old, and I think it was the first, you know, like automatic farm in the world. It's a really basic automatic farm, but it is automatic, and so it's been there forever. I think episode maybe like 31 or something, somewhere around there. This is the ship base though, so this needs a bit of a story and a little bit of explaining. When I started this series, I wanted to do a cool, different base, and I never made a base on a ship, and so I thought, hey, I'll make a giant ship, and that'll be a really cool base. And then I built the ship, and I'm actually happy with the shape. It is a little different, but I like it. But I set up the storage room down here, and I used the storage room forever. And then I started to realize this is not enough room for storage. And then I just never got interested in coming back to the project and finishing it. So I emptied the building out, or the ship out, and then went to a normal storage building base. So it was going to be a really cool ship. I had, you know, built most of it in creative, mast and all, and back cabin and everything, but never got around to actually building it in here. So, you know, it sits empty. I was going to burn it down for an episode, but then I was like, well, maybe we don't burn it down. Maybe we leave it there because it is kind of like a memory of the world. I don't like to rip things down in a world unless it's really in the way or really ugly or, you know, really has a problem or something. But this is the first enchant setup right here that got to 30. Just random stuff laying around here. Diamond picks everywhere that are enchanted because I guess I don't value them. But this is a red bed, so yeah, not that interesting. But the significance of this is I think this was the last, or is the last red bed that was before beds had custom colors in 1.12. Whatever, maybe just 1.12 when that was added. So don't know if that's going to become a weird entity down the road in the future. You know how like old leaves look all funny now if you load up a really old save file. But first pumpkin farm, well, not, I think actually, yeah, first pumpkin farm, and then I automated it later with the little button so everything goes up. And then I was storing everything down here in the docks. Or I think I called these the docks. I forget. It's been so long. But this borders the swamp here, and it's just a dock thing. Little cow farm. Nice decorative area behind there. This backs up to the graveyard, and it is a bakery right here. Automatic little farm. Flick the lever, and that all comes down here. And then I just basically made a mess, and I have to replant everything. I do like this farm. It's a pretty basic and old design, but it's just in an inconvenient spot, and so I don't use it. Upstairs is empty. I wanted to do storage with it, but another thing, you know, it's inconvenient. It's not in really a good spot, so I never did it. Now, I'm actually realizing, looking at this ugly building, that I forgot something, so time to do some magic editing. Right here, across from this windmill, wind wheel, water wheel, not a wind wheel, is a staircase right across the river. If we go down, this is the skeleton farm. The diorite reminded me, the scary looking gray, that this is a thing. Now, this is not very efficient. I'm not entirely sure why. The light level is dark enough in there and everything, but it just doesn't work that well. You have to stand up here for them to spawn, and then they'll fall and you kill them. Then you go down below for all of your enchanting and storage needs. Now, I think it's active if I'm over... Yeah, it's active right here. But I stopped using this because it just wasn't effective in terms of rates. So, it's a thing. It's linked up by the nether. But yeah, I have issues with it and the rates of it all. But this was probably the second spawner I set up after the spider thing. So anyways, this building right here is a checkpoint. There's just a bed in here. I like to leave beds everywhere so you could sleep. I think that's actually an old red bed as well before they changed, the whole crafting thing again and made, the color key thingy. But this is the diorite storage building that is probably the ugliest build in the whole world here. I thought it was looking good and great, and I had a lot of diorite, and I wanted to use them for something, and like I said, I thought it looked cool and good, and I've become a better builder since then, and it is very, very horrendous. It's an eyesore, it's ugly, but I never could get the heart to tear it down because it's the first thing built in the swamp, so it's ugly, and it's also blocked by all the sugarcane here. This is my sugarcane farm for the swamp, so kind of solved the problem there with the sugarcane. But, yep, not proud of that build. It's not very cool looking, not very fun at all. But it is a thing. Now, the idea with the swamp here was to make a little bit of a custom biome here by adding in the spruce trees and trying to decorate things up and all of that kind of stuff. So it's kind of a custom swamp, but it's really not, it's just a swamp here. But we have this world map that is upside down. A lot of you guys have pointed it out, and yep, I realized it, hence my logo thing being completely upside down. It's an upside down map. It made sense to me, though, when I was doing this map in terms of orientation of the world. Now, this is an out-of-date map, too, because certain things that should be on it aren't on it, but it's here. It doesn't have that whole rail line thing that should run through here. It doesn't have that whole little patron area, but it's a map. Obviously, I never completed it, but that completion is nothing compared to the other world map that needs to be completed in this world. So have fun with that if you're trying to do that. This is the Nether Chapel. I think I called it the Nether Chapel or something like that. I really like how this building turned out. It's probably one of my favorite buildings in this whole world, including, the land around it and everything. It's just really, really well shaped, I think, and it looks cool. It fits its purpose, which is the Nether. This was the main Nether portal of the world, or maybe the only or the first or whatever for the longest time. Now, right here is my old AFK fish farm that I can't ever get in because of the slabs and because I'm slow with sneaking into the door before it closes. But, standard AFK fish farm design here, and then stuff stored that I actually completely forgot about. I have lots of enchanted books with different things, especially in my other better AFK fish farm with more storage room. But Nether farm right here, probably my favorite farm of the world. You press the button, and the water comes down, and then the water harvests all of the nether wart, just like that. I really, really love this farm here, and then I have my storage all back here. I'll just, kind of set up like that. I will try and go and replant all of the farms, or most of the farms, before I, back up the world for a download. I didn't do it before this, tour, and I should have. I know that. But anyways, moving on is a giant building that really never had a good purpose. This is a building that I had a vision. I wanted to build a building with a farm underneath a floor. So I have a wheat farm right here and a hoe to fix anything that I trampled. Go inside and we have a cow farm, extra storage right there, and then we go upstairs and we have the first, and I think one of the only, there's two automatic storage things in this world, and this is for food. So you put something in there and it'll sort it, and then random stuff goes down here in the end that doesn't have an actual storage. It sorts everything that you see here. Not that complex of a design, but it is, not the easiest thing, I guess. But basically, lots of hoppers, lots of comparators, and lots of, I think, repeaters. Yeah, lots of repeaters too, or maybe not lots of comparators. Yeah, lots of comparators. Yep, It's a really easy design, or at least easy to expand. Now, upstairs, we have nothing. I didn't know what to do in here. It had a nice view. Well, I guess it still kind of has a nice view if we go up here. But the trees do kind of block a lot of stuff out here from up here. But going down here, let's do this, and this, and this. Right here is the subport wall. This was the comment of the day wall in the beginning of the series. Now, these are old names that are marked by each episode, and people, had left good comments on things. So check out each episode that is marked there for what is what. It was named right here. So that's kind of cool. Excuse me, I'm trying to do like very minimal cuts here, but my voice is getting dry fast, rapidly, and repeatedly. Right here is an armor stand thingy. This was going to be for my best armor in the world type thing, but I moved out of the swamp, so it, had no use. Right here is a slime, giant slime, that marks the giant slime farm. This farm is probably one of my favorites in the whole world because it is so efficient and so effective. Because I've caved all around here, the rates of this thing are pretty darn good. Stuff just spawns and falls down here. Tons of slime. All of that slime in that chest is actually just from when I've been active or around this farm. This farm is active when I'm on the nether side of the swamp. So, haven't been over here that long, and it's been producing. Now, this is the strip mine that I mentioned in the beginning of the tour. Said I might go down here. I'm not really going to go down and explore, but it has been mined out extensively down here. This is, the strip farm, or the strip mine for the beginning of the series, really, and, well, most of the series. Anytime I needed more diamonds fast, I would come down here and mine it up and get some diamonds. But heading back up here, we have almost finished all of the swamp, which is the main part of the world. There will be some more cuts now after the swamp, but anyways, back to what we're talking about. We have a random building. This is a strip mine access building. Didn't do anything on the inside. Didn't even put a door, but it goes down to the strip mine. Right here is Frank, the trusty horse. He never died, like I said, and he doesn't have a whole lot of health, but he is speedy, and that's why I liked him, because I like to get around fast. I don't care too much about the health and anything like that. His jump is pretty decent as well. I don't have an exact number on the jump, though. Right here is the sheep farm. This was the last, basic farm that I set up. I see sheep as a pretty basic farm, and, you just run around and shear them. There is issues with it. Things get glitched out and die in the wall. I don't have a good example. Right here. There's always two, but now there's only one in here because he got killed in the wall somehow while I was over here. It is an occurrence, but it's not super common. But I really like the rainbow design of it all, and this is actually a design from my old Let's Play series. I had another channel, and I ran another Let's Play series. Definitely wasn't as long as this one, but I did a similar design over there, except I built a giant tree in the middle. It wasn't that good, but it was a big tree. It was pretty impressive in my opinion, but I did kind of copy that design from myself, from my old series, because I really liked it. Over here is the pumpkin patch. This is just a decorative thing. I did it, I think, around Halloween as a Halloween-themed build, and it's also meant to be the corner of the swamp, so I have a little bit of a fence cutting off the swamp from the rest of the world. Now, there's a little island out here that is completely unlit, which is kind of interesting, because I lit the whole swamp up with torches. The point of that island was going to be like a little mob hunting ground that I could go and, kind of stand right here, look at the island, stuff would spawn, I'd run over and kill it, maybe if I'm, looking for, trying to get a skeleton to shoot a creeper for a music disc or something. That is what I had planned, but I never really actually got around to doing that. Now, this is leaving the swamp now. That's the whole swamp base. That's that with all of that part of the world. Now, I think I'm going to throw timestamps in the description to each, chunk of the tour, because the swamp is really one, chunk or whatever. So check down there for that if it's not there. Whoops, I'm sorry, I forgot. But right here is the castle. This is the most recent build, really, the most recent building. Last thing I built. And this is a 2,000 block long tunnel to my storage building, because when I die, I don't like to run through the nether if I have no gear, and that was set up. I was going to make, a whole frozen ice road thingy, but that didn't happen because I started that on episode like 85 or 6 or something, so way too late in the series, and by then I was thinking about ending it, and I didn't have the inspiration. But this is the big fish farm. Tons of storage chests. I have AFK'd in this for very long. This is how I have all of my mending stuff. I never sorted it after the last time, but mending extra books are right here that I fished up. And then extra stuff. I actually got these diamond boots from a zombie that spawned in here. That was not fun. I came back and luckily just in time. There was a zombie that was, I think it was stuck on something, trying to get at me or whatever. I don't know. But lots of extra storage here. Saddles, chests, books, everything and anything you could name. Then, right here is the AFK zone. So, right here we have all irony or whatever, I can't pronounce things, and it's an iron farm. It's automatic. Villagers are, trapped in these outside boxes, and golems spawn, and then get killed instantly. There's a little trench for safety around it, because zombies will try and swarm this thing. I just saw a zombie over there. Sometimes they try and come at the whole farm and fall into the trench and then eventually just get killed, but that's a thing. But the AFK zone is based around that whole fish farm, so I could AFK fish and stuff would happen. Good stuff would happen. So this is a mob farm. It gets, creepers, skeletons, zombies, witches, all that kind of stuff. It just works on fall damage. They spawn up there and they fall and die. It does not work fully, though. If I'm AFK for, say, 8 hours overnight or something, it stops working after some time, which is a little bit of a bummer. But we have 2 automatic farms here. This is a sugarcane one, that's a pumpkin one, but the sugarcane one has an interesting glitch, an issue, and the redstone block got completely deleted. Don't know what happened here, but there's supposed to be a redstone block there, but it's gone. It's literally just gone from the world. It, like, got crushed or something. I don't know. Weird glitch that I've never experienced, and I don't fully understand. Now, this looks over the swamp. I was going to do a bridge from here, going down into the sheep farm somehow, but then we have a vine farm, obviously not automatic. Then we have a stable, a strip mine entrance right down there, and then the sorting system for everything that comes from this farm, which I totally could have hooked up automatically with hoppers going from here to there, but I didn't think about it. Now, one cool little thing, a side note, it was a side trip of an episode because the thing didn't really work out. But there's an island over here that I was going to turn into mycelium and make, basically a mycelium farm. However, I didn't realize that for mycelium to spread, you need dirt. I thought it would spread over grass for some reason. And so, I started putting it down and nothing was happening. And yep, then I kind of gave up on that project and didn't come back to it because I didn't see a point in digging up the whole island. Whoa, that's a creeper. Oh, no. We're not playing with you today. But I didn't see a point in digging the whole island up just to make a mycelium one. Like, if I wanted to do that, I'd just go build a custom island somewhere. So it was a project that got scrapped that never came back to, but it was going to be an interesting one. I wanted to make a whole little fake biome over there, maybe even move some mushrooms over. But that is spawn, or the area around spawn, kind of. I think I hit everything, so it's time to move into the nether. Now, this was the central nether hub, started very recently, around episode 80 or something. What I wanted to do is flick a lever and say this would go to something that this symbolizes, like, let's say, the witch farm. Then I would hop on a cart, and it would take me into this hallway system and take me to whatever one I selected, all by changing the direction of the turn. This is an idea that I'd love to actually play out in full in the next series, and I probably will. This will probably be copied over in some form or something, but I, again, started it way too late in the series. Now, what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of go through these tunnels as if I was using them and go to each thing that this would have gone to. So, first off, over this way is the Blaze Farm. This is my most used grinder farm. This is where I AFK to fix mending tools and that kind of stuff. Really love this fire bridge thing that I set up in here. I think it's really cool. I do have the ice tunnel down here, but as you maybe just saw, I didn't finish it all the way. I ran out of ice when I was building it. But pretty basic Blaze Farm design here. It's a reverse pyramid, that you can AFK right up here, and stuff gets funneled down. Now, I had issues with this and got bombed somehow by gas, so that's what's up with the cobblestone. They broke the glass, of course, and I didn't have more to fix it, but lots and lots of blaze powder here. If you need fuel in this world, this is the place to go. This is how I started fueling all of my furnaces, is through this farm, because there was even more blaze rods, but I just let them despawn because I was like, when am I ever going to need this many blaze rods? It's so many that it's, doesn't even have a point or anything like that at that point. So, I despawned a bunch. Now, That portal right there goes to the tree farm. The one right below it goes to the skeleton farm that I showed you already. And this tunnel goes to the witch farm, which is where we're going now. I was going to make this whole area a custom nether biome, a giant nether wart field, and maybe some custom trees and stuff, because why not? I think the nether is really neglected and needs some detail, so I was going to kind of do that. But I started, and, you know, like a lot of things, I never finished. But this witch farm is finished, and it is fully functional. I never decorated around it like I had planned on, but that's okay because it works, and I have AFK'd here a bit and gotten drops from it. So we'll go over here and check this out. This was the biggest project of the whole world. I was doing the design where you clear out all of the land around it and make it in a giant lake, basically. So there's the beacon, if you're looking for the beacon in this world, but all of the land, I think it's like 250 blocks out from this center location, or actually from this location, is gone. So if you look this way, nothing. That island actually needs a little bit to be dug out. Where that pillar is what needs to go. So there's literally just a small island there. And I think that's out of range, actually. My render distance is pretty high. But this is what I was working on ripping out at the time of abandonment of this project, or really moving on. I was digging all of this out. Now, right here was a huge mountain. It went up to like 120. No joke. I cleared that all out. Got it all gone. Tons of stuff here. Of course, I didn't bother to save it all, because what would be the point of saving all of that stuff? I don't need it all. But down here, we have a little farm, which is, you know, your standard cow farm that I've been using in this world. And then down here is an access. So this farm works on a redstone clock. It stands where a witch tower was, or a witch hut, excuse me. And it has 3 floors, which is spawn, and water pushes them down here every once in a while. Now, I just cleared the chests out a while ago, but there is this much in it right now as of my last AFK session. So, you know, that's actually not that bad, I would say, for the farm. I do need to cave a little bit more around here too, but again, it's not that bad, you know, being what it is in there. And like I said, I cleared it out. I think I got I don't remember, maybe like half a stack of glowstone blocks from it when I had, you know, last cleared it out, which is kind of cool. But it is called Matilda the Witch. That was another thing named by you guys. I actually have a name down in here that I'll go and show real quick. But yeah, I really like this project right there, Matilda. But this is what the rail line connects to that I was talking about earlier. It's very long, very, 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 very long, and it connects. Now, the rails are all done here, and they're done a lot of the way. Now, down there, this is all cleared out to about where it should be. That line is the safe distance. If I'm all the way at the back of this thing, that it should technically be cleared out to that line. That line is right before a village, actually. You can see a village over there. But lots and lots of work. As you can see, this is where the mountain was, the different colors of water. Massive project that I actually had a lot of fun doing. I would just listen to music and dig. Dig like crazy. Dig, dig, dig. So, now it's time to go to somewhere that I haven't been in a long time on camera. We're going to go to Giza. Giza is the desert settlement that I've begun to set up. This portal goes to the swamp, by the way, but Giza is in this tunnel, and it is very far. I found this desert when I was looking for a desert in the beginning of the series, because, you know, I needed sand, as, you know, everyone does. This tunnel is, whoa, no, this is not going to be fun. Got to catch up to that minecart. I guess it's not that bad. There we go. So this tunnel is 800 blocks long in the nether, so you can do the math. It's pretty far in the overworld. 800 times 8, or maybe it's 400 blocks. I don't know. It's really, really far. But anyways, it goes to the desert, and Giza was a desert town that I was building. I never told you, but I had a secret plan of building a giant pyramid here, just like in Giza in real life, you know, a giant, giant pyramid. I was going to purpose that pyramid as a desert base, so it was going to have a giant automatic cactus farm, a sugarcane farm, and then a little bit of a mob farm. It was going to be a huge, huge build, because I've never built a massive pyramid in survival, and spoiler alert, I do want to do this in the future, but this is a really long tunnel, so I'm just going to go ahead. Well, hey, you can see the end here, but I'm going to fast forward a little bit. Alrighty, so we're here in the Giza hub. Now, it should be noted that out this door, following those pillars, is a very long path out to the world's mesa and the world's mushroom biome. Very far, we're not going there, there's nothing set up, but just for harvesting blocks and stuff like that, you know, just kind of found it so I could get mycelium and so I could get, of course, terracotta or hardened clay. I don't remember what it was called at the time, but terracotta. Now, this is Giza. This was done, yeah, I think around episode 20-something. Yeah, I think like 25, 26, you know, around there, beginning of chapter 2, but desert-themed building. This is a Fallout-inspired water vat thing. This is like a vat there of water, and then, you know, just a roof, and then a basement, as if this was like the sewers for the town or the water control for the town. The town is largely aesthetical, or just for looks. It's not functional. They're just kind of copy and pasted buildings that I built over and over again. There's going to be a lot of buildings, of course, and then a giant pyramid over there. And yeah, like lots of buildings around the pyramid that are just like the small basic ones. This is like Bob's Melon Shop or something. That's Bob. I think I said Bob's Melon Shop. I don't remember. But, you know, just a little melon area, pretending that this person would be selling, you know, his or her crops. I don't know, maybe Bob's a girl, no clue. But right here we have automatic farms again. I don't know where the button is this time. Oh, it's right there. Got a lever, you know, pull it up, boom. I think this is the only melon farm in the world, and then same with pumpkins, but not the only pumpkin farm. There is a donkey. I think it's a donkey. I don't think it's a mule. But donkey right there. Only donkey in the world. And then tons of desert that is flattened out in preparation for the pyramid. That's where I was harvesting my sand and just getting stuff ready for that big project. But that never happened. Now, this is my Giza home. This is just where all of my storage and work stuff was in this town. Lots of stuff actually left over here, or a little bit of stuff. Useful stuff, but stuff, you know. Then there's a cow farm right there, of course, as there is pretty much everywhere in this world. I like to have food farms wherever I'm going. Now, this was a theme in this world, or there was a theme in this world of settlements and different areas and different parts of the world, which I think is cool. I think it's very, very cool and fun. However, I don't know if that is going to be a direction that we're going to go in the next series. I'm going to try and stick to one area and not have a bunch of different settlements. I will have outposts, if you will, like maybe a house in the desert where I harvest sand so I can sleep and so it can have a portal and stuff. But I don't want to build a bunch of cities everywhere, at least in the beginning. I think it would be a good idea for me to go ahead and focus in on a base, a singular base in a singular location. I have a lot of cool ideas, but I think that is going to be the plan for the next series. The tour's not over, just talking about it here. That is going to probably be done different. But now it's time to head, I think, down towards my storage building and the final areas of this world tour. Alright, so my favorite nether tunnel time is this fancy one right there. Now, this was going to be, again, connected to that whole central nether hub system thing. And, you know, like I said, going to Giza, because that's where we just came from. But this tunnel is my favorite. I did a lot of work on it. You can see the blaze farm over there. That's the whole cage around it. I really liked that farm. But anyways, rail line up top, as you just kind of saw, and then an ice tunnel down here, you know, for when you're using a boat or if you're on foot. Now, this tunnel right here goes to the end. There is a little bit of stuff set up, but not worth showing. There's literally a horse stable, a small farm, a bed and stuff. Not in the end, but outside of the end. I didn't actually go and explore the end that much in this series, which is another thing that I want to do. I do have an elytra, and I do use it, but I just never explored the end extensively or anything like that. Maybe I have 2 elytra. I think I only have 1. But this goes to the storage building. There's a multi-layer thing going on here because the top is for the rail line. This is where you would come in if you were taking a minecart. You know, just a little bit of a dome. Just a nice, simple little exit. But first I want to go down here because there's an interesting, again, a little detour here in this world that has to do with the witch farm. So, here we are. This has to do with the witch farm. This has a lot of stuff. So, if you're looking for stuff, come here. This is where I go to actually get a lot of sand and random supplies. But, as you can see, there's a witch hut right there. Now, I wanted to build a witch farm, right? And so, I came over here. This was the first witch hut that I found. that I thought it would be, you know, a good one to use because there's a bunch of oceans here. Now, I guess correction, there's a witch hut in the swamp, but it's too close to everything. I would have had to rip out all of those builds and stuff like that, or have them in the range and have to do silly lighting stuff. But this area was a giant hill, giant mountain, and I was clearing it out forever. The land went all the way over to where those trees are, and it was high, and it was a lot of wasted hours. Because around episode 70 or 75, whenever I was doing this, I thought it wasn't that bad, and this would be easy to clear out this much land, and then I found out it's really not. I went ahead and burnt all the forests and stuff down, and was doing this with the beacon and all, and it was just taking forever, and as you can tell, there's a whole lot more to get done. So I abandoned this project and found that other slime thing, or witch thing, excuse me, that worked a whole lot better. But there is a spider farm set up somewhere out here. Maybe it's down that hole. That looks really man-made. But it's not that interesting. It's literally just another poison spider farm. But it's here, and this was a big part of the world. There was a lot of hours actually spent here digging this thing out, just like in the other area. But it really was not all for nothing, but, you know, it didn't get used or anything like that. And I didn't even cave out over here yet, so, you know. There's a lot of stuff here, though, and there's a forest that was being burnt down, because this all has to go, too. The idea is to clear out 250 blocks or in a circle around this farm to prevent surface spawns. Of course, you could go and light everything up, but how I wanted to do it was clear out the surface, and then I was going to make a giant custom swamp biome. So basically, I wanted to put, like slime blocks floating in the air and you know, just cool stuff that made a custom biome and everything, and then there would be no land around, so it looked like you're in the middle of nowhere type thing. But yeah, didn't ever happen because that is a very long process, clearing out all the land and everything. Definitely would make another witch farm, but would probably do it a little different just so it can get done and the whole area can get finished. Like I've said, in the new series, in Season 2, a big goal, something that I want to do differently, is making sure stuff gets done. And by stuff, I mean everything. Anything that I start needs to get finished at some point, hopefully before I move on to something else. So, anyways, though, this is where we end our tour here, and end our series, actually, because this is the final episode, which is a crazy thing. You never know, though. Maybe I come back to it and do something with it. I don't know. Just kind of depends, but I threw this in last episode. This is in a path, and I can't talk by now. It's been about an hour, and I just can't. I'm sorry. But it's an egg farm. There's chickens in there, eggs, you know, get laid, and then they go in here. Now, it's overfilling. It's overrun with eggs, so need to empty it. But it's an egg farm to fuel my chicken plan. I was going to put a bunch of automatic chicken farms in because they're actually almost a little better than the cow ones that I use because they harvest automatically. Now, right there, we have a spiral redstone door set up. Boom, and a little spiral. I really like it. And this is the grand storage building. I was moving everything here, and actually I did move a lot of the stuff here. I wouldn't say most, because there's those random chests of building stuff, but it's pretty well sorted, and I want to set something up like this again, probably in a different design, of course, but I really do like how this building came out. This might be my single favorite build, or building of the world. I know I've said that about, like, say, certain farms or the Nether Chapel thing, but I really just like the grandness of this building. Now, up top, it has been snowed on. I need to cover or clear all of that out, but basically I was going for a snowy, icy feel on the ceiling. Up top is for tools. I like to save tools if I'm not using them, so if you go up here, there's tons of extra tools and bows and you know, whatever you'd need for building sets of armor or just armor in general. Tons of stuff up here. There's maps over there. I actually don't know. Yeah, there's nothing in here. Tons and tons of storage stuff, though, and storage possibilities in here, because this is not full, and then I was going to do more excess storage, like, out here somehow, making, like, a little covering, and then just, you know, extra stuff, like run over dirt or whatever. And then down here, I was making a custom ice cave area or biome. If you haven't realized by now, I like custom biomes. They're fun to make. Now, down here we have the chicken farm. It's running right now, and I actually have all of this backup food in my inventory in case I was going to run out of beef, which thankfully we didn't. But doing mycelium and stone brick paths down here, this was the grand map wall, or was going to be. This is already the biggest map in the world, in this whole world, but it never got finished, obviously. This is the line that goes all the way to the witch farm. As you can tell, no joke, it's very, very long. And then down over here is the... I think that's the end. There's a road that I was building that goes to the end. I forgot all about that, actually. And then it ends there because this road was going to go all the way through all of this and back to the swamp. Now, looking at it, maybe that's not... maybe that's more like 400 or 800 blocks. No clue. These are the most zoomed in maps, so you could use that information to do the math, excuse me. But, yep, it's got everything on here in the swamp and everything. It's mostly updated. Not entirely. It's missing some stuff at spawn, but pretty updated. Right here's the comment of the day area that I just recently started doing on episode 82. If you highlight them, it has everyone's names that has the comment of whatever episode number it is. This is an idea that I'm going to copy over in the next series, probably almost exactly. I love this idea, and I want to do a big comment of the day area. I would do books and stuff, but it's been done a lot, and that's almost like a lot of resources to commit to it. But with all of that, I think that's the whole world. I think that's everything that I've accomplished in this world in a little over a year. 92 episodes. Lots of off-camera playtime. No. Cut. There's another thing here that's really big. Don't know how I forgot about this. Well, I kind of know. I did it pretty recently, and it is amazing. I have here, for you to see, a ocean temple that has been mostly drained out. This thing is huge. Like I said, most recent big project probably. I mean, there's that whole road project thingy, but it wasn't finished. So anyways, giant project here of draining an ocean temple because I was going to make an ocean monument, guardian farm here. Now, this took a while, drained it with sponges and sand and, sections of the ocean type thing. But here it is, on camera, in all its glory, drained. Now, there is water underneath it, as you saw, and there's water inside of it still. But this is what an ocean temple looks like drained. If you've never seen it, it's right here, and it's really cool, and it's also in the middle of nowhere in my world. There's nothing near here, so that's how I forgot it. It doesn't even have a proper tunnel to get to it. It's a little behind the Blaze Farm. If you're looking for coordinates of this thing, if you want to like teleport here or do whatever, right here, negative 1,800 and negative 1,270. Somewhere about there should be the farm. Go to 70 or so on the Y, but don't do it in survival. You'll fall and get hurt. But yep, okay, back to what I was saying. Sorry. Well, I've just checked actually, and I played about 20 days in here, and I have died about exactly 13 times. So, with all of that, what's your favorite build? Send me a screenshot on Twitter or in the Discord. There is a link to that in the description. It's a community Discord where we all just kind of chat and hang out and talk about, Minecraft-related things, gaming-related things, really anything, life-related stuff. So make sure you join that and follow me on Twitter. Now, like I said last episode, thank you for making this series so awesome and so fun to do, and I can't wait for the next series. That will begin once 1.13 releases officially. I'm waiting for an official release to start that series, and that will be a Let's Play series, Season 2 of sorts. I won't call it Season 2, so just look out for Let's Play Episode 1, and then probably after the fact, I'll go ahead and add to this playlist here, if you're watching it in the playlist, Episode 1 or 2 or maybe 3 of the next series, so you can kind of, see what's going on, and if you like it, you can jump over to that other playlist. It will be a separate playlist, whole separate numbering system and everything like that. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the series. I had so much fun making it, and again, I hope you enjoyed the world. There will be a download link in the description, like I said, so you can go check that out. And if you're interested in pacing of the world, check out the other world tours, because there is everything shown off but in progress, and you can kind of see what the world was like and where it was at and all of that kind of stuff. But with all that rambling out of the way, I think it's time to sign off, to close this series off for good. So my name is Wattles. Thank you very much for watching. leave a like if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you next time. Go have a good day. Goodbye, everybody.